Hey everyone, welcome back. This week's video begins with Cayo Costa, Captiva, and Cabbage Keys. They all sustained damage from Hurricane Ian in September 2022, but are slowly rebuilding. Effective October 2023, Cayo Costa's beach facing the Gulf of Mexico was reopened for daily use with restrooms available. It states as of March 2024 that there's still no docks, electric, drinking water, camping, or ferry rides from Pine Island. Cayo Costa became a state park in 1985 and covers 2,420 acres, including the southern portion of North Captiva. With 9 miles of natural beaches, it's home to manatees, dolphins, migrating birds, and the endangered sea turtles. Research shows the indigenous Calusha people inhabited the island as far back as 4,000 years ago. Cuban fishermen arrived in the 19th and 20th centuries, and by 1848 the U.S. military utilized Cayo Costa and nearby Gasparilla Island as a military reservation. 20th century quarantine station, marine hospital, 3 pilot houses, post office, dock, and 2 fishing villages. By 1958, all the villagers have left the island and the current park is protected and preserved. Captiva Island is just north of Sanibel and is accessed by a small bridge from Blind Pass. The island recovered after Hurricane Charlie in 2004 destroyed many homes and businesses. Hurricane Ian caused significant damage to the causeway and infrastructure. The 2020 census registered 318 residents on the island. No cars are allowed on North Captiva. Transportation is by bicycle or electric golf cart, often included with home rentals. Cabbage Key is just off of Pine Island and is roughly 100 acres, only accessible by boat or seaplane. In the 1940s, children were transported off the island to school by a boat. The island received its name by then residents Larry and Jan Stultz. The bar is covered with dollar bills estimated between $70,000 to $100,000. Every day, dollars will flutter down to the ground, gathered up and donated to a charity. $10,000 was donated in 2019. The tradition started in the 1960s when a local fisherman taped a dollar bill to the wall so that he would have money for a drink when he returned. The gopher tortoises are revered on Cabbage Key. Each tortoise tunnel is protected by a fence with their name on it. Some have been on the island for over decades. The only downside we found traveling through the Keys by boat is there's not a lot of places to tie up your dinghy to go to shore, so we were forced to tie up under a lot of bridges. We anchored in a small cove close to Coco Plum Yacht Club. This was a great little marina community that included tiki-style huts just behind your boat to use as you wish. Tarpon Belly Key is a wonderful little island to explore and hang out in nature. In the 1960s, a man had a vision of growing shrimp in paradise. He dug 2 canals to grow and harvest his shrimp, but his dream failed. The rubble he left behind has made Tarpon Belly a legendary hangout ever since. Fat Albert, or its technical name TARS, the Tethered Aerostat Radar System, is used by U.S. Customs and Border Patrol to survey boats and low-flying planes for possible drug smuggling and human trafficking. Fat Albert blimps are 170 feet long, 58 feet across, with an 81-foot tail wingspan. It's filled with helium and tethered between 8,000 to 10,000 feet over Cujo Key. This was the first TARS site, with others in Arizona, Louisiana, New Mexico, Puerto Rico, and Texas. We love Key West, Florida. The average temperatures range from 65 to 89 degrees. It rarely drops below 56 or above 91. Some top things to see and do in Key West are, of course, Duval Street, the Ernest Hemingway Home and Museum, Key West Lighthouse, Aquarium, Shipwreck Museum, Truman Little White House, and the Old Town Trolley Tours, and so much more. Daily trips to the Dry Tortugas by ferry or seaplane are highly recommended. Harpoon Harry's is one of our favorite breakfast spots in Key West. They have great food and the atmosphere is amazing. Ron is the owner and operator for the past 31 years, and we have never been there and not seen him on site working alongside his employees. Quick funny story. Barry and Jason grew up together. Jason and Steve met prior to us meeting Steve at our marina. Small world. The West Martello Tower was added to the U.S. National Registry of Historic Places in 1976. Built in 1862 during the Civil War, it is one of 3 remaining Civil War-era structures on the island. The fort was never actually involved in battle. It is now home to the Key West Garden Club.
It's a marvelous life of moments, the stars up above in your eyes. Fairy tale is not the big romance beneath the cover of October skies. All the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. My heart's relieved the call of your heartstrings that play soft and low. And all of night's magic is safety, whispering a hush. And all your moonlight magic seems to shine in your blush. And I just have one more.
The seam shop is a fabric store for men and women. While one shops, the other can hang out in a comfy corner with free snacks, water, soda, and beer. Sixby Park, also known as Dredger's Key, is a half-mile north of Key West and home to the Key West Naval Air Station. Since Barry was in the military, we are able to use their facilities, and being anchored right next door was a plus. If you visit Key West, see if you can find our sticker on the sticker wall and let us know if you find it. Also, you can't go to Key West without trying the key lime pie. Fort Taylor is a state park and National Historic Landmark located near the southern tip of Key West. It has the largest cache of Civil War-era seacoast cannons in the U.S. Construction began in 1845 with the plan to defend the southeast coast of the United States. The fort was named after President Zachary Taylor in November of 1850, a few months after his sudden death in office. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.